The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform.
Aloha. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Well, yeah, sure.
Holy makahiki ho.
Yeah.
There we go, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's kick off a couple of ball games that we deemed were pretty doggone good. And one of them is a favorite for many people in the NFC, and that is the Seattle Seahawks.
Bye. Yeah.
Mike McDonald.
Yeah.
What a defense that guy has, okay? If he can just get his offense rolling a little bit better, things will look pretty good. But my gosh, the Panthers might have stayed home because it didn't look like they showed up.
Meow.
Yeah. It was.
Well, to your point, Seattle's defense is the real deal. Trying to peg which team is the number one defense in the entire NFL, it's kind of hard to do because from week to week you see glimpses of defenses that just look like they're impenetrable. They're not going to let you score. But Seattle's defense has been consistently great. Carolina's offense has been kind of up and down, and some days Bryce Young looks like an NFL quarterback.
Goes into
overall
LA
number one
Ram
pick.
territory and beats them.
And they've got a good defense, but clearly not as good as Seattle, or at least the game planning and the execution of that game plan was not as good because Bryce Young held to roughly 50 yards or some
They held Carolina to 139 total yards.
I've seen
one for 11 on third downs.
Yeah.
10 first downs.
To Carolina's credit, they kind of fought back at the end to make it semi-interesting.
Yeah.
But it was a foregone conclusion that even on the road, Seattle came in prepared. And that's what impresses me about this team. Sam hasn't been, playing lights out like he was earlier. He's racking up like 4 touchdowns in the first half. That has been happening. We're not hearing a lot of JSN talk. That's
he was
kind of dropped
quiet
off a little bit. We're not hearing a lot of Kenneth Walker talk. You're right. It's been... In recent weeks, it's been more about
the defense,
the Hawks coming down, and clamping down on you, and that's exactly what they did in a game they needed to do it to keep their hopes alive for the number one seed and that week of rest.
Keep the hope alive.
And playing at home until the Super Bowl for some teams.
You make that defense, Bryce Young, 14 of 24, 54 yards passing.
I didn't even, wow.
Oh, boy.
That's one shot for a lot of quarterbacks. 50 yards is one pass. You can get that accomplished.
It was not good, but Charbonnet for the Seattle Seahawks finally started to show up. He's a big guy, man. That guy is big, boy.
Big Bruin.
He reminds me a little bit of...
got a comp coming.
Henry.
Okay.
Oh,
wow. That's
a
nice.
little bit, but he
God
doesn't
bless.
run the same. Henry's got that force behind. Yeah, it's almost like, come on, hit me. I'm ready.
I'll
ready.
just drag you along.
Gosh darn. And we'll get to him in a few as well. But Seattle is now 5-1 in games in which Sam has had 2+ giveaways.
That's
in
intense.
the game.
Yeah, will that carry through the playoffs? Probably not. That doesn't portend well when you enter into the tournament and start throwing away or giving away the ball or not securing it. But let's not forget the fact, too, that how big of a game this was for Carolina.
Yeah.
They could have locked up their playoff. They could have. I mean, it was a big ask. Not only could the Panthers have locked up their division and been in the, into the tournament knowing that, but to beat the Seahawks to do it would have meant a big deal because it also would have meant there's some kind of a threat going into the tournament. Not so sure now.
Yeah, people
Not
look
so
at
sure
you a
now.
little bit different, man.
Yeah.
Bryce had his passes were all 10 air yards, 14 of 18. That's
wow.
it. Plus 3 throwaways, man, with the aforementioned.
Those are basically handoffs then.
He
almost.
was 0 for 3 when he went more than 10 yards downfield.
So no meaningful pass attempts. Didn't even try it against that Seahawks defense. Yikes. Week 18 will decide whether or not Seahawks are even playing in the first round.
Second game was interesting in the fact that, the week before DK Metcalf, if you saw that, you've seen stills, you've seen video of him smacking the Detroit Lions fan, suspended for 2 games.
Ouch.
At the very end of the season. having him against the Browns, I'm sorry, he would have won. Tony Romo came on, and the post game it says, I think if they had had DK Metcalf, they would have had a better chance of winning. No, Tony, they would have won 3 straight times in the final drive when Aaron finally got it together and they drove downfield. Which, by the way,
it took forever.
you're playing defense, and you're got a 1-score game. I just can't believe it. The fact that they all play somewhat of a prevent defense. We're going to let you have the 10, but the 10s, okay, we'll take
but
that
don't break.
10. Yeah, but then they
know
do
you need a touchdown. That's
you
why.
miss one tackle on that 10
That's
and out,
true. Yeah.
and man, they're already in position again. So
But it helps not to have a beast like DK running out there that can drag guys down the field and also make cuts and moves and has some speed. His fault for not being there, and there's no excuse in the world. Although I'll say this for all the people out there that are rightfully criticizing DK Metcalf for his kind of off the field actions, if you will. He wasn't on the field. You got to take it. They say you're better than that.
Yeah.
You're the one making all the money. You're the one that's actually playing the games. You're the one that matters. Don't bring yourself down to their level. But did he cost them the game? I'm going to agree with you and say, yep. And here's the bigger problem. He ain't around for next week either.
No,
against a game that matters even more. Now it does.
Yes.
Now it does.
Yes, indeed, boy.
But let's throw this out there, too. It wasn't like totally DK's fault. Mostly it was. The Browns have an excellent defense, and they've been known to come up and bite a few teams here and there throughout the year. Of their, 4 wins, I think they have?
That's it.
Yeah, go looking back who those 4 wins are. I mean, they're losing to junk teams and stuff, but they've got some pretty good wins. And even, they took the Bills to the wire. They play a very competitive brand of ball. Shadur's learning how to play, but their defense is no joke. And then without your premier receiver, you're going to find that out.
Yeah, boy.
You're going to find that out.
I mean, they went 3 straight times when they got down into the scoring range, thought they had a chance to win it. 3 straight times against Denzel Ward.
All-pro.
Yeah.
Smart.
And it was 3 straight times to Scantling.
Yeah,
right? Valdez Scantling.
I don't even think they had Marquez Valdez Scantling. I don't think they had him at the beginning of the year. I think they picked him up
from
recently.
Kansas City.
So, So a guy that hasn't even been there all year long, you're just going to keep throwing it in the corner to him?
3 straight times.
Yeah.
First one almost got intercepted. But anyway,
with no DK Metcalf, I'd like to see a lot more of. To me, their second best offensive player is Kenneth Gainwell. Coming out of the backfield, running the ball, but also coming out into the flat, catching it, even running actual receiver routes. Didn't see enough of that.
Well, as the Steelers put the offensive running back to chip on Garrett, right?
Oh.
They all day long, man, double or triple him, right? That's the same thing they did with Gainwell. Gainwell, you're not gonna. They got no DK, so Gainwell, you're not gonna get the kind of rushing yardage you've done in the past couple of weeks.
Fair enough. And I heard Myles Garrett after the game, maybe a little bit of sour grapes or lemons in his mouth, said he felt like the Steelers felt it was more important to keep him from getting a sack record than to win the game. And then Coach Tomlin says, well, I feel like if we keep Garrett off of old fake Brett Favre, then we're probably got a better chance of winning the game. So 2 things can be true at once, but Garrett did not get his sack record. You're right. I was watching some clips and they had guys all over the place just to keep him, off of Aaron Rodgers, which, by the way, is a pretty smart plan because if Garrett is intent on getting that record in this game, he might end Aaron Rodgers' season. It could be that bad.
Very
on a
much
sack.
so. Very much so.
And then what do you got after all of this that the Steelers have been through this whole year, all of this drama, big wins, bad losses, still in a position to make it to the tournament with Rodgers? You don't want him going out in that game because Garrett just takes him out, literally.
Who is their second string?
I think it's Mason
Kenny
Rudolph.
Pickett. No, that's
Mason Rudolph. Kenny's over
that's right.
with the
and then the name to remember, I mentioned
Raiders.
it on shows past.
Yeah.
Will Howard, okay?
Ohio State.
Yeah, he's sitting there in the wings. They're waiting his time. He's been hurt
Well,
stuff.
No Aaron Rodgers, then no interest as far as I'm concerned where the Steelers go if they make it to the tournament. You want to see Aaron Rodgers and all his glory. Yeah.
Then another one. Hello, Aiden Tyron. Those Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, that guy, Trevor Lawrence, is looking pretty doggone good. Got some zip on them passes, boy.
I can't believe what my eyes are seeing sometimes. I mean, we can go a couple weeks back, too, into previous games, not just this game. It wasn't one of his better hot games that he's had over the last 6 weeks where he's been on fire.
Yeah, boy.
But not just not just against poor opponents either, not just against weak defenses. He's been just stringing together effective games, and this was even one of his best games. This felt like a game where Jacksonville knew it was kind of like a trap game. You're playing against a quarterback that hasn't even played recently. That's been kind of like the feel-good story.
Oh, Mr. Rivers.
Yeah, the
he's talking
feel-good
about.
story of the lab. But you know what it means when you're a feel-good story? You're not a real story. You're a feel-good story.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars kind of knew this was going to be a kind of a tough one for them, that, the Colts aren't going to give them anything. It's a division rival.
Right.
They were losing in that game. It was feeling a bit precarious.
But even though watching the ball game, I thought to myself, okay, they're losing, but this is not going to last. And sure enough, boy.
Yeah, but to be fair, partner, I think this season of all seasons, even the original Mrs. Henricks, my mother pointed out, she says, boy, some of these things you think, oh, they'll turn this game around, and they never do, and teams lose
Keep
that
waiting
aren't
on it.
supposed
Keep
to
waiting
lose.
on it.
Yeah, I mean, they've got teams out there right now that are stuck in their playoff positions or aren't making the playoffs because they couldn't come back in games they were down that they should have won. So to all credit to the Jaguars for figuring it out.
Boy, they've added that kid Parker Washington now.
Yeah, he's
become
terrific.
Lawrence's favorite target, boy. But they got Brian Thomas still out there, a couple of other ones as well. But check this out, man. They tried to blitz Trevor. Shake him up, shake him up, shake him up. He was 13 of 18 passes, 190 yards, 10 yards per attempt on those blitzes, boy.
That is super impressive. And you're telling me with this coaching change, with Liam Cohen coming in, all of a sudden, it was a massive problem where Trevor looking shaky when the heat is on in so many ways. Heat is on in an individual play. Heat is on in the course of a game. Heat is on in the course of a season. And he couldn't just rise to the moment. He's rising to the moment all the time now because of a coaching change.
Well,
That's
in defense of Trevor, there was a couple of coaching changes in his limited 5-year career here.
And some crummy coaches.
Yeah.
But we can't count Doug Peterson as one of those coaches, and he didn't have a lot of success with Doug Peterson. So Liam Cohen's got the Jaguars sprinkle magic going on, and we'll see.
I think he's one of the coaches worst to first, boy. There's Vrabel, him, and it might be... I think it might be the Panthers as well.
That's crazy that you bring that up, too, because, we're always told in the NFL, just wait till next year. That's a famous words of that you could go from worst to first. It doesn't happen a lot. Oh, it happens all the time. What a crazy year. And then, we're not going to get into it too much. We're not going to talk about teams that don't matter anymore, but the big boys, a lot of them bowed out already.
Yeah.
They went from first to not being relevant in even in week 16. You're done already. Done.
Now, one aspect of it, I mentioned about the blitzing because obviously teams are watching that. Okay, if we blitz, it gets all shook up. He's not very good. Well, his passing, he didn't score a passing touchdown, but he ran for 2.
Correct.
His legs, they were making a mention on the telecast that, wow, this looks a lot like Clemson. Trevor Lawrence,
right?
Using
dual
his
threat,
legs,
dual threat, and with the legs are not an afterthought.
I mean,
it's a primary consideration.
Here in the latter part of the season, I'm seeing a lot more QBs. No more hesitation of, hey, I'm waiting. Somebody get up. No, nothing's open. Boom, I'm going right up the middle here.
And most of them doing it mostly safely, like protecting themselves. We're not like talking Jackson Dart reckless.
Right.
I'm going to the ICU. I'm going to prove it to you. No macho stuff. Effective running, tough running, but also not really putting themselves in harm's way because they know they are, they're franchise hopes. You're not going to do anything with a backup quarterback.
So again, the Jacksonville Jaguars look pretty good. Is that the perennial team you don't want to meet in the playoffs?
There's a couple of them. And they're definitely one of them, especially the streak they're on. But I can can also talk about the Houston Texans being a problem too. They had a good one too.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Jacksonville's got who this week?
They got to play the Titans. It's the Titans' final game of the year. Cam Ward
trying to make
out there
it good.
and
I am good.
I tried watching all the shows last night and doing all the math as far as who could improve their position. I don't think Jacksonville can necessarily. They are.
No.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
They can. It's between them and the Texans.
Right.
Yeah. So that Texans game is going to matter too. And Texans play the Colts, so they got to do what Jacksonville did this week. They got to beat Old Man Rivers.
Maybe law of averages will go with the Colts.
No,
How many games does the Rivers have
Let
now?
me put it
Three?
this way.
3 games?
yeah, and he's survived them all,
Yep.
and he's had moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, not against the Texans defense.
I don't
And
think so, man.
Jacksonville's
Will
defense
Howard's
is good.
licking his chops, boy.
Daniil Hunter, Alshier, oh my golly. And throwing the ball around in that secondary. So
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
not too worried about
Wow.
the Texans. I don't think they're going to have a lay an egg week against the Colts, especially at home when it matters. And they've been on a heater. They took out the Chargers this last week, which mattered to the Chargers.
Yep.
Chargers are trying to stay alive for that
Yeah.
number 1 seed. And
I don't see them going very far in the
and
playoffs.
they meaning the Chargers could only muster something of a meaningful comeback, but not really. Not really. I mean, it was just tough
They look
sledding
bad.
all day.
Man, I feel bad for Herbert, boy. He's getting beat up back there. Pretty bad, boy.
I gotta think he's in pain 24/7.
Golly, man.
Just probably the time he's in the least amount of pain is when he's playing. Believe it or not,
Yeah, I think so.
he's sitting around hurt. His hand is
Okay.
broken, and oh my god,
We're going
poor
with
guy.
a pass play. You sure, Coach? You don't want to run it?
He's a tough kid.
All right. Then the another ball game that was significant in the fact that you win it and you turned a lot of things in your favor, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Godly,
Wow.
good God.
Against Quinn Ewer, rookie out of Texas. de
Bench
facto-
Tua.
Yeah.
They bench Tua.
And they said, you're getting in there and you're going to make it happen. And sure enough, they did. They
Well-
beat the Bucks, who had everything to play for. I don't understand it myself. They took a lead early on. Okay, this is true to form. This is going to happen, but Miami came on strong, 20-10. I think that was at halftime. But Tampa Bay, they had no answers at all for Miami. All you had to do was win, man, and you're sitting in the driver's seat for the NFC South.
I saw a stat last night. I can't remember which two teams have been 0-9 in their last 2 games. I think one of them is the Raiders, and I can't remember the other team. But right behind them, and I mean, just doesn't even make sense. Tampa Bay's at 1-8 in their last 9 games.
1-8.
When it all matters. And I understand. Part of that is injuries. I get that. Nope. Every team on here has been struggling
Right.
with injuries at some point.
Everybody's
in time.
got a weakness to them. Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the injuries are more important than others. But I tell you, just to go out there and lay an egg, much as the Steelers did against the Browns, somebody's got to win. The NFC North. Somebody's got to win the NFC South. I think on both sides of the ledger, when you look at those two divisions, it's going to likely be it could be a losing record coming in.
So if the Cowboys were in the NFC South, we would still be in the running.
I have a feeling somehow that wouldn't pan out. We probably would have 3 ties
Eight and
instead
one
of just
right
one
now.
tie.
Anyway, the final one that I had in here that was
think, though.
of noteworthiness is the Philadelphia Eagles
Oh, come on.
and the Buffalo
you gotta
Bills.
bring
Man,
that
I kept
up
thinking,
for?
I kept thinking, no,
Come
they're
on,
coming
brother.
back. They're coming back, but
He did.
you got to go back in time. Josh hurt his foot a couple of games back.
Yeah.
It shows up in these ball games. He did not have the same running
True.
that he had in the past. And you saw it on the touchdown where he came up just short. Philadelphia, on the other hand, you're the man who says, wow, this is a defensive tackle. He was out for
Oh,
about
man.
3 ball
Come on
games
now.
with shoulder surgery on
Yeah.
each shoulder. Okay, but he came back for this, and boy, did he get Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
The one play, right, where he came and he just pretty much ate him up, man.
Oh, you did way more than that. Forget about Jalen Carter at your own peril. And I tell you this, not only that, big factor in this game.
Big factor.
Blocked extra point attempt
Who was that did that?
off his big giant
Jalen
hand sticking
Carter.
up there with his 12-inch vertical and that size and perfect timing. The guy is a football animal. And portends well for the future. I kind of had circled 4 teams going into Week 17 that are quietly there in the background, ready to lurk, pounce, and maybe take this whole thing. And those 4 teams, Philadelphia, I think they're quietly there because people are counting them out. Because even in this game, you win 13-12, you barely win. I don't know that it really matters for their seedings. The other 3 teams that I had circled as dark horse teams were Buffalo, still,
Okay.
even more so now. San Francisco. Again, all the talk
Yeah.
of the Rams and the Seahawks coming in and other teams in NFC. San Francisco circled as a quiet dark horse, and then the Chargers. So 2 of those teams won and 2 of them lost. And San Francisco not so quiet anymore. I don't think San Francisco
And they're
is
not at full
quiet.
strength right now either.
Well, they never will be. Yeah.
Well, they have. There's rumors of Fred Warner coming back if they make a deep run into the playoffs. Right? They lost Trent Williams in the very first
that
part of the
makes
ball
me
game.
nervous
Yeah.
going forward for them. Although they were still managed to put up, as many 40 some odd points in this game, 42, I believe, without him
Left
at
tackle, man. Yeah, that's it. And then instant offense. Kittle
Not
sitting
playing either. Kittle,
on
no
the
Kittle.
sideline in street clothes, boy.
Yeah, no Kittle, no Tucker. Okay, no problem. Because you have who I believe to be at this point in the season, going into Week 18, the most valuable player on the San Francisco 49ers, given everything that's happened to that team with Bosa going out, Warner going out on your defensive side, and then when old Purdy comes back, making him look like a champ. The
Mr.
one and
Irrelevant,
only.
man.
No, but no, he's not the MVP. No, it is McCaffrey. I'm giving
Oh,
it
yeah.
100% scrimmage yards.
Man, he was running
toughness.
hard.
Not only that, he hasn't had any 40-yard runs this year. Nothing even close to those
Yeah.
big, long. He's getting all his yards in chunks, keeping possession, keeping
Right.
moving the chains of this thing, scoring a ton of touchdowns, and he's there week in, week out. You know what you're getting from Christian McCaffrey. Has kept this team alive. Not alive. They are going into Week 18 looking to take the conference and the division and the number 1 seed all the way through on their home field.
Man. Wow. The age-old axiom is defense wins championships.
True
I
story.
think that's going to be this year for sure.
Well,
to
then-
go back to
yeah.
Philadelphia, okay?
And there
They
you
had-
go.
They had 5 sacks of Josh Allen, okay?
Yeah.
The significant thing
They
of
sure
those
did.
5 sacks,
Yeah.
4-man rush
Yeah.
on
right.
all 5.
It's coverage sack.
Only 4, yeah. He couldn't find anybody.
Well, a lot of those sacks, too, are for minus 20 yards because
back
Josh just
and
keeps
forth.
going backwards, trying to
I
make
can
something
make it.
happen.
I
That
can
caused,
make it happen. I can
caused
make
the
it happen.
fumble when he was just trying to throw it away. That
Yeah.
cost them, too. There's so many mistakes in that game that cost
I
them.
tell
But
you what, you could see the frustration in him on the field, boy, slamming the ball down, slamming his helmet when he comes to the sideline.
those were not unforced errors, though. They were forced errors. They were errors that were forced by a Philly defense that's going to be trouble in the tournament against some of these premier offenses, the Rams, whoever they match up with, the 49ers, the Seahawks. It's going to be a problem, man. Like I said, watch out, man, for these defending champs. Jalen Hurts, he's terrible. Barkley's not doing much. Your defense is keeping you in
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
Watch out. Watch out.
Defense. Okay, well, what games do you deem are marquee matchups this week?
I'm just going to point out
Final week of
yeah.
the season, by the way.
Final week, Week 18.
Yeah.
We're there after everything that we started out on. Here it is, the end of the week. And obviously, there's the 2 divisional games we talked about. They matter in the NFC South. We got Carolina taking on Tampa Bay for the championship.
Yeah. Well, what do you got on that one?
You know what? It's who knows?
Both of them don't look like they're coming in strong.
losers.
Exactly
But
right.
it matters. They're going to get
But
in the
give
tournament.
me one, man. You don't have to give me a point differential there. Just who's going to win.
I just see Tampa Bay continue to lose even at home. Somehow Carolina musters up a win because they're going to do it.
You're
They're
gonna
going
go
to
with
do it for
Carolina.
Mr. Orozco, who's been, calling.
the Dave Canales.
Dave Canales train continues. It ain't pretty. It's not a bullet train, but it's a train, and it's still on the tracks. And I'm going to take the Panthers on the road.
On the road, man.
I don't know.
Wow,
I don't know
man.
how because Tampa Bay's just been barfing up games. It's terrible.
Looking pretty bad. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk. Who you got in that? What do you like? What do you think is going to even happen?
Well, I got on the Dave
0-0?
Canales. No, I got them
Stay
winning.
on it.
It's going to be a. Wow, I don't even know what kind of score. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of points.
This is ridiculous.
I think it's something like 21-18 or something.
I think maybe 21 points combined. I don't know. I mean, but no time for you to get off the Dave Canales train. Not now.
No.
No, forget it.
All right, another one.
The next one is, of course, the AFC North Championship, which is going to be the final game of the NFL regular season. Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
No DK, no win.
No DK. No, I'm with you there too. And I like start Snoop Huntley. It doesn't matter if they don't have Lamar. I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Did you see what Derrick Henry did? in a game that mattered against Green Bay.
And it takes you back the week previous to that where they lost, and he took the ball out of Henry's.
Right.
You didn't see him in the
we're sharing. We're sharing that.
Boy.
What are you sharing? Sharing your way out of the playoffs? Don't do that.
They asked Harbaugh about it. He goes, well, if in retrospect, if I had to do it over again, that wouldn't happen.
Well, then he had a chance to do it over again against a compromised Green Bay team. But I saw the stats, and I saw 150 some odd yards for Derrick Henry, 3 touchdowns, I believe.
He had that perennial stiff arm. Get out of my way.
I wonder if Derrick Henry ever plays Mad. He looks so calm. So I got Derrick Henry playing Mad in this game. I got no DK, and this is kind of tough too. I hope that the Steelers win this game because I'd like to see Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs because that's what they brought him in to do is to get him to the playoffs. And it didn't seem likely to start of the year with a healthy Baltimore team that was looked at as a #1 contender overall. You had Joe Burrow and the Bengals all ready to go, so it'd be a surprise. And but I'd like to see it. But I don't know. I mean, no DK. The offense is limited. So, Baltimore's coming in hot. They're smart now.
Got nobody to stretch that field anymore.
It's going to come down to whether or not the Steelers' defense and how healthy Watt is, if he can do anything to slow down Henry. And I like the Ravens. I like the 2 road teams so far. And I'll throw this at you, too. I said I'd like to see Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Well, let's put it this way. If Baltimore wins this game and Lamar comes in healthy, that's kind of interesting, too. You'd have Baltimore coming in with a home game as a division winner in the playoffs with Lamar Jackson, where who knows, they could go on a run. They meaning the Baltimore Ravens, and Lamar could catch fire, and they all of a sudden become legitimate at the best time of the year, Week 19.
One last one.
Yeah, one last one is the game of the year.
Seattle at San Francisco.
To win this game against the Seahawks and then have home field throughout the tournament should they keep winning, and the first round bye to get guys healthy. Maybe Fred Warner gets healthier with that
that's what
first
they were
round.
talking about.
I don't know. I mean, the 49ers have given up some points, and of course some of their big names, Bosa and Warner and a few other guys are out on defense. But there's still a lot of big names in that defense, especially in the secondary. They're not without players back there. They have players, and their offense has been rolling, and McCaffrey is awesome. So for them to get that first round bye, to play in Santa Clara throughout as far as they can make it, possibly is a big deal.
The big carrot that's sitting in front of them is, we make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We're playing at home.
The problem you have is one of the teams that has been the toughest teams all year and really doesn't have any bad losses at all are the Seattle Seahawks. And it's hard to really rally behind them and believe in them.
Seattle's traveling or at home?
It's at Santa Clara. So if they win this game at home, they're a home field team all the way through. Yeah, they earn. So San Francisco earned this opportunity. What can they do with it? This is the most intriguing game of the year. San Francisco offense has been rolling. Brock Purdy is just a gunslinger. He'll throw a terrible pick. He'll come right back on the next possession and fling it out there into trouble again, and it's a completion, and it's a touchdown. I like that. He's going to need that against the Seahawks because mistakes are going to happen, and you can't curl up into a shell.
Well, I mean, the very first part of his first pass.
Pick 6. 15 seconds in the game.
That's a veteran team.
Good
okay.
point. Yeah.
That's okay. Hey, 7 points. We get back 7-7, we're all even again. So
that really impressed me because it looked like trouble. It looked like he, meaning Brock Purdy, ruined the best game of the day immediately by spotting the Bears, who are pretty darn good. You don't need to spot the Bears 7. He spotted them 7 on the first play and said, we're good. 5 more touchdowns, 3 in the air, 2 on the ground. No real trouble from Purdy after that. Played a brilliant game. He looked like Patrick Mahomes out there running around. True story. So, I mean, I'm
going with Seattle.
I'm just going to – I don't like Seattle. So I like San Francisco. I hope they win. I'm gonna say they find a way against that defense, and that's gonna be the biggest test, is putting up the points that the Niners are gonna need against this Hawks defense, which travels well. That's the one. Saturday evening. I hope it's not on some streaming service I've never heard of that I don't know how to find.
Crunch time happens now. We hope that your team, if they're still in the playoffs, does well.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to each and every one of you. Here's hoping for the best in 2026. My name is J.E. Orozco.
John Hendricks.
We bid you a fond aloha.
Ahui-o.